What is going on, Knicks Nation, Knicks family? How are you? How you guys doing today? It is Thursday morning. Hope everybody's doing well today. Let's talk a little Knicks, shall we? Knicks lost a very, very tough game yesterday. I think a game they should have won. They could have won, but didn't. Again, they had their opportunities. They just didn't play well yesterday, man. They didn't play well yesterday. They didn't shoot the ball well yesterday. It's frustrating, as a Knicks fan seeing this, because it's just very, very frustrating. I'll be honest. So I could say a couple of things real quick, if you don't mind, guys. I want to know your opinion too, of course, because obviously I'm curious too about that. Yesterday, the Knicks obviously didn't shoot well. Okay, we know Jalen Brunson had, I think it was 5 of 18 from the field. Josh Hart, I think everybody had an off game to an extent, right? Josh Hart was obviously passing up shots, like he usually does, because he's obviously I don't know what it is with Josh Hart. Sometimes when he has an open shot, it's very, very what's the word I'm looking for? It's very frustrating to see how he passes up these shots. Because when he does usually shoot the ball when he's open, specifically on the bounce, right? He usually, for the most part, makes them in. For the most part, he's been a lot better this year at doing that. I mean, last year, he was struggling with that last year too, and this year I think he's gotten a lot better with that. But man, to pass up shots, man, and especially when everybody else is not shooting the ball well. I mean, the Knicks only had 40 points in the first half. It just didn't look like. I mean, listen, they won the category in each department for the most part. I think they were like in the field goal percentage. I think they lost. I don't know what was the field goal percentage. I know they had a lower percentage than Oklahoma did, but they out rebounded the Oklahoma City Thunder. They had lower turnovers. They had more assists than Oklahoma as well. And of course, Shea gets called for every single call. He gets every call, which is insane to me. Until it's like, I don't understand for the life of me how this guy's getting all these calls, man. It's just very, very frustrating just to see. But the Knicks had an opportunity yesterday to not only play better in the second half, because in the first half they were obviously down by 10. They were hanging in there, but like I said, they weren't shooting the ball well. And I think when Shaman came in, he kind of gave us a little bit of a spark and stuff like that. I think he had like 11 points in that third quarter, I think it was, I believe. But everybody else didn't play great, man. They didn't play up to their standards. And again, I get it. Back-to-back games. Both teams have back-to-back games. I mean, there's no excuse for it. And it wasn't that long of a flight neither. And of course, I know that people get jet lag and all that stuff, but the Knicks should have played a lot better yesterday, shooting wise, especially. And Cat only had 8 field goals yesterday. He was 7 of 8 from the field. I think he had 17 points. Why is he only taking 8 shots yesterday? Like, can somebody please explain that to me? Like, he only had 8 shots yesterday. He wasn't getting the ball enough, in my opinion, obviously. I mean, he's got to take at least 14, 15 shots, at least 16 shots. He wasn't getting that yesterday. Jalen had 18 shots. He only made 5, 15 assists, which is great. Obviously, that's the thing I like about Jalen is that if his shot's not going in, try to help the team in other ways, right? Passing the ball, moving the ball, assists, defense. If you can, if you can play a little tough defense, great. But it was just an off game for a lot of us as far as the starting lineup is concerned. It's very frustrating, man. We had an opportunity though. We had two decent looks. Jalen's look was not bad. Obviously, OG Anunoby's look at the end was a shot. I'm sure if he can retake it again, I'm sure he probably would have shot it with a little more power, a little more energy, because it did hit the back of the rim, and they're probably exhausted too. I just don't understand for the life of me though, guys. Why did Coach, right? Why did Coach Brown in the fourth quarter start Jalen Brunson? He pretty much had the starting lineup in the fourth quarter. Like a lot of this blame has to do with him too. Because like what was the point of that? What was the point of you starting the starting lineup in the fourth quarter? When Jalen Brunson usually has, that's his time to rest and stuff like that. Like, I still don't understand why he did that. That's mind-boggling to me. Granted, I know we were struggling to shooting the ball, but like, everybody was struggling. I think Cal was the only one, at least from what I can tell, in the starting lineup that did not struggle shooting the ball. I mean, that's the way I saw it. I mean, like, explain that to me. Like, I don't understand for the life of me why. Like, it's very, very frustrating, Like, sometimes Coach Brown does these weird substitutions, man, sometimes. I just don't understand for the life of me. Maybe you guys can chime in and let me know. Because it's frustrating, man. Like, meanwhile, yesterday when I was watching the game, I was watching my son play his game. He was playing basketball. He had his game yesterday. And so I was going back and forth, watching my son play while watching the game yesterday as well. And so it's frustrating, man. Like, I don't understand. Like, this team is so capable of beating this team. They're a good team. Don't get me wrong, but SGA is always getting these calls, man. It's so frustrating. Like, you can tell when he drives in to shoot a fadeaway shot, he always kicks his leg out, so he can be touched by one of the defensive players, so he can get called for a foul. He reminds me a lot of Michael Jordan, who I love. My favorite player of all time is Michael Jordan, and he would get these calls all the time. He would get calls left and right. You touched him, he got called for it. He gets the call. It's just like, man, like, when the heck are we gonna, Oh God, that's why I can't wait, man. I can't wait for. I'm glad the Boston Celtics lost yesterday, because Boston lost to Charlotte yesterday. I think it was like 118-89. They got demolished yesterday, which I was a little surprised about, to be honest. So which is nice, because again, we at least stay in the same, the same games back. We don't move down or anything like that. I think we're still a game and a half behind or something like that, whatever it is. So that's good. But man, let me tell you, man, I know we're not, and on top of that, to top it all off, we're going back to the West Coast now. We got Denver tomorrow night. It's not going to get any easier with this road trip. We have 5 games in the West, I believe, altogether. No, 4 games in the West, and then we have Indiana after that, going back home. We gotta do something, man. We gotta do something. Anyway, that's my little rant, guys. I'm just going through it right now as a Knicks fan. Had a hard time sleeping yesterday, to an extent. Listen, the Knicks lost. They only lost by 3 points, right? But the way they played yesterday, I have to give them a little credit, because they were off yesterday, and they still made it a game. Okay, granted, they didn't have Jalen Williams, but we didn't have Deuce, we didn't have Mitch, and we still played them pretty well, I thought, for the most part, when it came down to execution and coming back from like 13, 14 points down, 15 points down, whatever it was, 17. So, I have to tip my hat off, to an extent, of course, but again, a game I thought that we should have, we had an opportunity to win or tie it up, whatever it was, we didn't execute. Our shots were low. I felt like we were tired. So anyway, you guys have a great rest of your Thursday. We will talk soon again. Stay safe out there wherever you are, and we'll see what happens tomorrow night. I'm expecting the Knicks to compete tomorrow. Just it was, at least they had a day off, which is today, and hopefully they'll be back tomorrow night playing a lot better. Anyway, guys, you guys take care. God bless. Let's go New York, guys. Thanks.